This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back to the show. We are joined by Stacy, the psychic medium. That's right. Stacy Mongar joining us again here live to talk more about the work she does, the person she is. And she's amazing at readings, her energy work, and so much more. She's been helping people, lost children, human trafficking, organ trafficking. She's been helping so many all her years. And we're grateful that she's joining us again today. How are you, darling?
Pretty well. How are you? Thank you for
Um,
having me.
Thank you for being here again. And it's exciting to have you. I know you hail from Nebraska, but you're working with
Yes.
people all over the world. So, how would you like to start off today and introduce yourself to everyone?
Well, what would you like to know?
Well, for those, since it's their first time, in a sense, someone tuning in, you are a medium, you are a psychic, all the above.
Psychic
Talk,
medium. Yes.
let's talk
I
about
go,
some of the things that you're able to do. Give us a little overview.
well, for starters, I go after human trafficking, drug trade, arms trade, also organ trafficking,
Okay.
and the pedophile rings that's been recently, well, no, I've been at that for quite a while, but it's been in the news, should I say, a lot. And but I primarily go after that. But I also do readings. I do a little bit of energy work. Um, I do a multitude of things. So, anyways, but I do corruption is my forte. I've helped law enforcement, certain intelligence agencies. I've reported things. So, yeah. So that's what I do, a little bit more
Great.
about who I am.
Wonderful. And what did you want your listeners to know for today's show, about you, about your future, about their future, about their past? I know we went a little deep last time, but some may have missed it about a lot of the work that you're doing and people even in your life, you got personal about some things that you're working on settling.
Yes.
And is there anything you want to share for today?
Well, I think just, we talk about people living in their authenticity. And sometimes that now the word is probably becoming overused to people who are not truly. And, I have to stop myself and say, am I? Am I living in my truth? Am I living in my authenticity? And so often people are not there, or they're afraid to be there, or they don't know how to access that truth. And usually in society today, it's discouraged, and it's got to really connect what we truly want and truly who we are and what we bring to the table. And I think any messages I could give people is to own it, to appreciate who you are, and also, more importantly, to love yourself. And it's been a long journey for me to go inward. And a lot of times, if you're a very spiritual person, it's more inward, outward. It's about truly owning who you are, loving all parts of you, um, and knowing that by doing that, that the face that you show the world, that authenticity, that realness, rawness shows through. It really does. Once again, we talked about energy. Energy does not lie. At the end of the day, if you feel like something's off, it is. And also
Yeah.
to trust your instincts. We all have the
Mhm.
ability to tap in and to tune in to our own intuition, but to trust that
Yep. Yep.
and to know that, that is your truth.
Yeah. And, the past week, let me just ask, how was your holiday? How was your Thanksgiving for some people out there who, got to be with family, with friends? Is there anything significant that you're feeling or sensing that you want to bring up?
Oh, for me, it was very quiet but very nice. I think, I don't know, there's just a lot going on in the world, as we know, and there's been a lot going on. Some say we have taken steps backward, um, instead of forward, um, taking a few forward and a lot back. Um, and some of that may be true. Uh, Once again, authenticity and knowing who we are, uh, loving ourselves, as I've said before, hate begets hate, violence begets violence. But standing in your truth, it seems to be that it's, integrity and truth. It's, those words,
Yeah.
and people owning it and honoring it are seem far and few between.
Yeah.
But I think, obviously people that genuinely were enjoying company and family, friends, and some of us who uh, choose to be alone by ourselves, myself included, because of issues I've had with people around me and that sort of thing. But it was quiet, and I did not have the noise and the the problems that have come with family not being family. So, and betrayals, and I think there's been a lot of that's coming to the forefront. Are people experiencing major betrayals and money and other things at the helm of all of this, and stolen money and that sort of thing. But I think, once again, I think once you really truly love yourself, um, and know your worth and know who you are, and you become centered and grounded in that, uh, the rest kind of flows. The rest, not to say that everything will be easy, a bed of roses, but the rest comes. It comes naturally.
Yeah. Wow. Well, also with your work this time of year, sure, it's great to have readings by you. Do you do group readings? A lot of people reaching out to you, for the holidays to do these type of group readings, and are we doing them all virtual now at this point?
No, I'm not. Yes, I have done a few group readings, but usually individual. And usually, like I said, I am reporting. I've made phone calls to law enforcement, certain intelligence agents, or sat in offices rather, uh, reporting things. But if people want to reach out to me, there are various ways of that, getting a hold of me. But so no, I didn't. It was fairly quiet. Usually, occasionally, people will get the readings if I need to give them. Um, Sometimes it just comes. With me, it's just there. I use a little pendulum, but it's usually just there. It starts coming. And I've learned to fortunately control some of that, and know there's certain times that that may not be appropriate. But if it's something of concern, if it's something life-threatening, yes, I'm going to give that message pretty much right away, and to the appropriate people or the individual that it needs to be given to at the time. So at any rate, but overall, I think it's just keep on moving forward. And sometimes that is hard to do. And keeping up that faith, and I mean faith as in resilience, um, faith in knowing that you're going to get through it, that there are better days ahead.
Aw. Well, thank you. Stacy Monger here, our psychic medium, joining us live today here on the show. And I'm not sure, I don't have any notes for your show today, so I'm not sure if there's something specific you want to cover. I just want to make sure, though, we are covering what you really want to accomplish for everyone.
Well, I think so. I think there's been, and especially with the holidays and especially with religion and other things at the helm of all this. And I of course, I believe in more, that it's more universally speaking. And I'm not so much, it's more of a spiritual as opposed to going to a church, that sort of thing for me. And I know others that is the case. But there's the level that I've been hearing the topic of forgiveness come up, and I have used that, and I've reflected upon that at various times, and whether forgiveness and what does that truly mean. And there were a few people that were online that are very Romney, and I can't pronounce her last name. Her name is Dr. Romney. She's been out there, Dara Valsa, and I think she was discussing that forgiveness hurts the survivor, and it's not necessarily forgiveness. It's living in your truth. And there was another person, Avita PK. She was out there. Both of these people are phenomenal, but I've long felt this on some level, intuition, on a gut level, and people that are survivors of abuse, which I have been, and whether it be narcissistic abuse, whether it be other, all types and all forms, that forgiveness isn't, they say it's something you do for yourself, and it's not necessarily. Sometimes it's not very healing or comforting, and sometimes it is okay not to. The best bet is to own your truth, to know the truth of what happened. And as we all have said, the truth will set you free. And there is a major element with that. And owning that truth and knowing that truth, and then being able to move forward and release. And, there's also the reconciliation and forgiveness aspect. And I know some people are going to be outraged by this, but sometimes by doing that, it gives that other person that's not, is going to go back to it, is not sincere, get out of jail free card. And we don't want that. But on a soul level, on an intuition, like I said, everything is energy. Energy does not lie. And healing, once again, comes from in and knowing the truth of the matter, and knowing that what happened to you was wrong. It should not have happened. You deserve much more than that. You're a human being that deserves kindness, grace, all of the above, and knowing your worth. And so, on one of my sites, and I don't know if it's up, but compassion, truth, and forbearance is what I have on there. And then to me, this is rather, we lack compassion and integrity nowadays. And forgiveness doesn't necessarily necessitate healing. It sometimes slows the healing progress down much. It does not allow for that to occur naturally. And if you are in a place, it has to be, the person that's the abuser has to literally be on board and willing to change and willing to step forward. And yes, there's some abusers that have legitimately, made amends and healed, but a lot of times that's not the case. A lot of times it's forward, they're not sorry, they're just going through the motions. So that is not That is not healing. The forgiveness, and then that is just, it is not forgiveness, and it does not serve the person of who's been severely abused and it has endured quite a bit. It reopens those wounds. It slows down the process, and it allows for the other to continue and to allow for the abuse to continue, and saying, okay, somebody forgive me, I can go on and do it. But I think we need to look at that. I think we as a collective, as a whole, need to look at that, our whole concept, and the healing and those inner wounds, because as we know, on a spiritual level, the soul, as we know, soldier's soul to the hospital, that unfortunately has happened a bit. And we need to truly look at, with this holiday is coming up, with everything going on, everything in the world, those concepts really need to be looked at, in those that we need to look at it differently or change how we view it. Sometimes things are illusion, and those illusions keep people stuck and not in their truth and not in their authenticity, and do not allow for true, genuine healing to occur. So I that's something that's been going over in my mind, and how I truly feel and deeply feel about. So that's if any message I could give today, that's one of them.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. And yeah, during this holiday time, I'm sure a lot of people are questioning, a lot about themselves, others around them, and the feeling of the holidays, right?
Yes.
Some are so lonely, some are so, what would you say to someone out there who's experiencing, grief during the holiday, not maybe not having anyone around, or, how can we get through the holidays, especially?
Well, and sometimes it helps to even to reach out, and there are services out there. There are outreach services that, and it depends on what you can afford, but there are free services, which for those who cannot, there are services online if you can afford it. And sometimes reach out to that person that you didn't think you could, that, hey, I just really need to talk. And I'm feeling lonely. There are a number, and I don't know where this at, because this varies city to city, state to state, and across the world, where people are getting together that are alone, single, and they say, if you're alone in the holidays, contact us. Or they do meals and get together and that sort of organizations. And I wish I had more info on that, but that get together. And sometimes it's merely reaching out to a person you didn't think you could, or to certain people around you that you can trust. But use discernment, like always, use discernment with this. And sometimes, once again, if you're comfortable in loving yourself, but sometimes, people just need to talk. And by all means, if you're feeling suicidal, there is hotlines for that. And when I'm doing reading, I will pick that up. I will also make sure that whomever I'm giving reading to, that I'm giving resources. I'm making sure they're okay. I am not a licensed therapist or any of that such, and to make sure that they're connected if they're
Yeah.
feeling that. And unfortunately, around this time of year, that does happen. But I connect them up with resources. I connect them up with direct numbers and people and organizations that can help them. And because it's a real thing. It's, more and more people are feeling lost. And sometimes just reach out and saying that you care to people and saying, hey, I'm here, speaks volumes. And telling somebody you love them, actually. And I know that, on a humanity level, telling somebody you love them
Yeah.
is enough.
Oh, nope, you just broke up a little bit again. Is it the energy? You there? Hello, hello?
Yeah, still
There you go. I
I'm here.
gotcha. Gotcha, sweetie. What else?
I'm here. Are you hearing me?
I hear you, but I'm hesitant to speak because I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I'm fine.
Good. There we go. We're back, Stacy. Um, what other things are you capable of in this beautiful mind of yours that you're able to help people? What a gift to have. How does that feel to have a gift?
Um, well, sometimes overwhelming, sometimes you get a lot of, of course, naysayers, people that are trying to disregard you, to dispower you, dislike you. It's like, no, I start doing that and, just start reading them and they're going, okay, we get them. Or, it comes like that I didn't know what I was thinking about, but somehow that doesn't really matter. What matters is that I give messages that help the people. At the end of the day, I know what I'm seeing is the truth. I know that um, that what I'm doing is feeding people, and that sincerity and authenticity. And and if I question that years ago, am I really doing this? Yes, I have. If you stop and look at that and stop and look at things, then I wonder about you. But just know it and knowing it's true, and that you can help others by extend all around, by giving them healing. There's such healing that needs to be done with people, the whole entire world.
Yeah.
Just let someone know that they're important,
Oh,
that they're loved,
yeah.
and that they're appreciated, they matter, and enough. And a lot of us are not told that enough. A lot of us are more.
Yeah.
But hopefully, through what I do, I'm allowing for certain healing to take place, or the beginning of healing, or hopefully some. And I know that sometimes I've brought some comfort to people I've given meetings to. Exposure is much needed, and a connection,
Yeah.
and they can move forward. And
Oh,
so that if I've done that, my work is done for the day.
yeah. Absolutely, Stacy. Absolutely. And any advice you want to give your listeners today that are listening that are just looking for something from you? Maybe you're going to reach out to them directly. What do you want to say?
Um, that you know, it's okay. You're not perfect. You are human. Make mistakes, and to be gentle with yourself. Give yourself some freedom to recognize that, but to move forward and know that everything's going to be okay,
Yeah.
and that it's okay to reach out if you need help, whether it be me. And if I feel it necessary, I will let them know of professionals that they reach out to, of organizations they reach out to. But to know going to be okay.
Oh,
You are allowed. You matter. You
yeah.
matter.
Well, I appreciate that. And Stacy, how can we reach out to you if we'd like to contact you for reading, to work with you?
Stacy Psychic Medium, STCY, the Psychic Medium, .com at Instagram. And then I think it's Stacy Mongar, Mongar at Facebook. The two are linked. They should be. And I need to look further. And some people said they've had some difficulty, but usually Facebook and Instagram are two places you go to reading.
Beautiful. And are you on social media?
Oh yeah, I music. Live is my other passion. Live music in the venues, and so I did a lot this last week. It's a little cold, but usually I'm up there and on filming live, and so you catch me on that on Facebook, filming live, and so and then also I incorporate what I do. I talk about what I do, but music has been something from a very young age.
Aw,
When I was
all right.
younger, I'm passionate about.
Well, thank you so much, sweetheart. Pleasure having you back. Stacy
Thank
Mongar,
you.
everyone, reach out and looking
Thank
forward to
you.
next
Thank
week's
you.
conversation. Enjoy the day, honey. Bye-bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.